Welcome. In this short video, we'll explore backlog refinement. Upcoming work often starts with uncertainty. We may understand the general idea, but still have questions about the outcome, the scope, or what it will take to deliver. Refinement helps the team explore that work together. The goal isn't to create perfect specifications or answer every possible question, it's to create enough shared understanding to make good decisions about what comes next. Let's take a look.
First, where does refinement happen? Unlike sprint planning, the daily scrum, the sprint review, and the sprint retrospective, backlog refinement is not a scrum event. It's an ongoing activity that happens during the sprint. As the team works on the current sprint, they also spend time looking ahead at upcoming product backlog items. They discuss them, break them down, add useful details, and learn more about what the work involves. This means refinement isn't something we need to save for one big meeting. It happens when it's useful throughout the sprint. One important idea is that refinement is something we do together. It can be tempting for one person to prepare everything in advance, writing detailed descriptions, defining the solution, and then presenting finished items to the team. That might create more detail, but it doesn't necessarily create shared understanding. Refinement gives the team an opportunity to bring different perspectives into the conversation. Someone may understand the customer need, someone else may see a technical challenge. Another person may notice a dependency or an assumption. Those perspectives help the team learn together. Refinement is a conversation, not a handover. So what are we trying to create through that conversation? Shared understanding. Imagine a backlog item that simply says, improve booking cancellation. Different people could interpret that in completely different ways. So instead of immediately adding more detail, start exploring. Why does this matter? What outcome are we trying to create? What do we already know? What questions do we have? What assumptions are we making? The conversation is what matters. We don't perfect the item. We understand it together. As our understanding grows, we may discover that the work is simply too large. A large backlog item can contain several different outcomes, problems, or areas of uncertainty. Refinement gives us an opportunity to break that work down. Instead of asking only, how can we make this smaller, ask, what smaller, meaningful pieces of value can we identify? Smaller items are generally easier to understand, easier to discuss, and easier to plan. They also allow us to learn earlier, rather than waiting for one large piece of work to be completed. The aim isn't to create lots of tiny tasks, it's to make the work small enough to understand and small enough to deliver. Refinement also helps us uncover uncertainty. Sometimes uncertainty is obvious. We don't know how an external service behaves, what customers actually need, or whether a technical approach will work. Sometimes it only becomes visible when people start asking questions. We don't need to remove every uncertainty before the work can move forward. Instead, ask which uncertainty matters to our next decision. Perhaps we need an answer. Perhaps we need to investigate something. Or perhaps we can accept the uncertainty and learn while doing the work. Refinement helps make those choices visible. And that brings us to an important point. When have we refined enough? It's easy to keep adding details, answering questions, and trying to remove every unknown. But refinement isn't about creating certainty before work begins. At some point, we understand the purpose, the work is small enough, and the important uncertainties are understood well enough to make a decision. That may be enough. There will always be things we discover later. So don't ask, do we know everything? Ask, do we know enough to make the next good decision? Be clear enough to move forward, not perfect. Let's bring it all together. Good backlog refinement can be remembered through 3 simple ideas. Understand, explore upcoming work together, and create shared understanding. Shrink. Break large work into smaller, meaningful pieces that are easier to understand and deliver. Learn. Ask questions, uncover uncertainty, and learn what you need to make better decisions. And throughout all 3, remember, know enough, not everything. Refinement isn't about creating perfect backlog items. It's about helping the team understand upcoming work well enough to decide what to do next. Refinement creates understanding, not certainty.